Hello, my name is Patrice. So I just wanted to get on here and do a short story time on how I met my husband and how we proceeded in a relationship and end up getting married. So in 1999, we were in high school. That's the year we graduated. So we had one class together in this small city, in this small town. We went to two separate high schools. I went to one, he went to the other. Both schools was pretty much competing against each other our whole high school years, so he came to my school once or twice a week for our elective class, which is graphic arts and design. So this class, we pretty much made business cards and things of that nature, learned the design and computer stuff. So we knew each other. My husband, his name is Desmond. He was very quiet, reserved. Him and another boy, they sat at the desk together, was pretty much a little distance from all of us other, students or whatever from our high school name is Bradwell. So it was Bradwell Institute, but I'm just going to say Bradwell. However, prior to me getting in high school, I had three sisters that already went to Bradwell, which was they were already well known due to our, our name and all that stuff. And then my brother, he is a year older than me, so he played basketball, from the time he got in high school until the time he graduated, which he graduated a year before me, which he graduated in 98. I graduated in 1999. So, however, I was well known, popular, but quiet and reserved at the same time. So my husband would come over to the school for, our elective class in high school. And like I said, I knew of him, did not know him. We didn't speak anything, we just saw each other, teacher did what, the teacher had to do, taught the class, and that was it. So fast forward in life, this one particular day, I pretty much was cleaning up my house, washing my car, inside and out, just cleaning. So I looked at busted and disgusted. However, I ran out of some cleaning items, so I needed to run to the dollar store to get them. So I pretty much had on a t-shirt, some sweats, some tennis shoes, hair thrown in a ponytail. It was hot that day. It was a summer day, so I was toed up. And at this time, I had a daughter. My daughter had to been like 3 years old. Me and her dad wasn't together anymore, so I was a single parent, working, trying to, get myself through school or whatever. So while I was at the dollar store, this man just walked up to me out of the blue and was like, "Hey, can I get your name?" And I told him my name. My name is Patrice. And, he gave me his name and he said, "You look to be around the same age as my son." And I said, "Okay." I said, "All right." And so he said, "Are you married?" I said, "No, sir, I'm not married." So he then stated, he said, "Well, my son, he's a good guy, and he's just been running into a lot of bad women. And he said, can I have your phone number to give to my son?" And I said, "Well, first of all, you don't know me. You don't know if I'm a bad woman or a good woman." And then the guy, which is his dad, proceeded to say, "Yes, I do." He just said, your look, just your demeanor, I can tell that you're a good woman." And he said, "I'm tired of my son just dating these no good women, doing him all kind of ways, and I'm ready for him to get with a good woman." And I was like, okay. So this situation has never happened to me before. Never had someone parent walk up to me and wanting my number to give to their son, and so we can start dating. So I gave him my number, and I thought it was strange, and I thought that his dad was actually lying at that time, because I was like, okay, some older men do approach me or whatever, even though, they're a lot older, but a lot of older men are attracted to me. So I was like, is he lying or is he telling the truth? And then I saw his hand and I saw that he was married. So I was like, oh my God. I said, I pray that this phone number, which I don't even give out my number. I said, but this time he looked legit and I just had a good feeling. So I said, okay, this time I'm just going to give him my phone number. I said, a phone number ain't bad, because if I don't want to talk to him, I don't have to talk to him, as long as he don't know my address. And so I gave his dad my phone number, and I was like, oh my God, I just pray that it's legit or whatever. But I had a calm feeling about myself, when I, talked to him. And I said, well, sir, before he even walked off, I said, well, I don't know if you know if I'm a good woman or not, or whatever. And I don't know if me and your son is fit for each other. I don't even know who your son is. And he gave me his son name at that time, but it still didn't dawn on me. This is the same guy that was in my graphic arts class. I totally forgot, was not even thinking, that name didn't register. I was like, I said, it sounds familiar, but I can't put a face with the name. So, okay, so we left the store. I got what I needed to get. He got what he needed to get. Well, fast forwarded. So, a few weeks later, his son, which is Desmond, he called me. So we chatted on the phone or whatever. But at this time, I was out of town. I was in Columbia, South Carolina, for a seminar for work. So, when he called, I was out of town. We couldn't meet up or whatever. So I was like, well, I'll be back such and such day, whatever. So we can plan to meet up just conversate, meet each other, whatever. So got home, maybe a few weeks later, we had chatted again over the phone, and we linked up or whatever to meet. However, when we met, we just both just stopped and start laughing. Like when we got face to face, I was like, oh my God, I know you. He's like, oh my God, I know you. We was in the same class. Oh my God, I can't believe this. That was your dad, that did this. And so we just laughed for a little bit. Then we talked, but just talking, even though his dad got my number for us to date, it wasn't like that. When we met, it was like a friendship that had started out of the blue. So we became friends. Me and Desmond, we were friends for years. And I let him meet my daughter because we was not, even though his dad wanted us to date, our mindset was not on dating. It was just strictly became friendship, just evolved out of the blue. Dating was not on our mind because at this point, I think I was either talking to someone or just getting out of a relationship or just going back and forth with my daughter's father. So a relationship wasn't even on my mind. At this time, it just, like I said, friendship that had started. So we'll go to the movies, we'll go out to eat. Me and my daughter would come over his house. And mind you, to make you guys laugh, we lived literally 2 minutes from each other, right up the road. He lived in a house, I lived in apartments, right up the road. Me and my daughter could actually walk to his house, which would take us 3 minutes on foot. So car about a minute. So we lived literally right up the street from each other. So we would go over all the time, every weekend, just hang out, me and him and my daughter, or, his parents would watch my daughter so we can go to the movies or out to eat. But it was strictly just friends. And we was friends for years. I mean, I'm talking at least 4 to 5 years before we thought about relationship. So this is how this came about. So fast forward, like I said, we was friends for 4 or 5 years before we even considered dating. So we pretty much we was always friends, but when we got in a relationship with other people, we would kind of withdraw from each other. We would still be friends, but it wasn't the same. We wouldn't hang out. We wouldn't really talk on the phone like that. So he would do his thing, I would do mine. Like I told you, relationship wasn't on our mind. We were dating other people because I'm like, okay, well, we just friends. I don't see a relationship. I look at him as a friend, whatever. So at this time I got in a relationship. It was getting serious. But however, the guy that I was getting serious with, it wasn't the same on his, he was moving a whole lot slower. And I'm like, one day I just was like, you know what? I deserve better. He's moving too slow. He don't know what he want. It's just, he's second guessing himself. He say he want me, he want a marriage and all this stuff, but I don't see it. So I always, went to God and just prayed, like, God, is this the man for me? Is this, the man I'm supposed to marry, and stuff like this. And, just still talking to God through it all. So me and this guy dated for like 2 years, and it was bumpy. It was up and down, up and down, up and down. And I said, you know what? He's just not ready for a type of woman that I am, or whatever. He hasn't experienced life like that. So I was like, maybe he trying to take it too serious, and he's confused. He was confused. So we pretty much end up like slacking off. I was like, I can't do this relationship anymore. We just need to take a break. So one day out of the blue, Desmond, which is my husband now, he calls me, and like I said, we wasn't even dating, so we're still friends. And he's like, you know what, I'm just getting out of a relationship. He's like, you know what, I noticed, he was like, I'm just here to tell the truth. He said, it's no one like you. It's no one compared to you. He said, I'm, in these relationships, and he's like, I'm trying to make it work. He said, but I come to realize that you are special. We are friends. Yes, he said, but it's something about you that's different that I love, or whatever. He's like, I don't want to date anyone else or whatever. He said, I want me and you to take it to the next level as of trying to move past friendship into a relationship. So this call caught me all out the blue because, like I said, I had just got a relationship with that guy. But we was like back and forth, back and forth. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to move forward with Desmond until I know I close this door with the other guy. So the other guy really, as I was, trying to tell him I don't want to be in a relationship no more, blah, blah, blah. I need to move on. This is not working. It's not for me. He wouldn't take no for an answer. So it was so much back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, okay, I'm over it. So me and Desmond begin to like talk, try to move past friendship into a relationship. So it started off kind of very nervous because, like I said, we never ever crossed the line. We never kissed. We never held hands. It was just only friendship. And so we were trying to get out of that stage of, oh man, this feels so weird. Like, oh my goodness, can I look at him in the, as a boyfriend? Can he look at me as a girlfriend? So we was in that stage, that awkward stage. So we end up, talking, and one night he got off of work and he asked to come over to my apartment. So I let him so we can watch a movie. And it was so like funny, weird, where me and him both just was like laughing. And it was funny because before he left, he asked for a kiss, and we were both shaking, nervous. He was more nervous than I was. I can hide mine better than he could hide his. Like you could literally feel him like shaking, like, oh my God, oh my God. And so we kissed, and I said, you don't have to be nervous. I'm not going to bite you. We just, need to learn how to just relax. And it's all new to both of us. So we end up dating, in like months, not even 5 months after dating, he proposed. And the day he proposed, I knew something was up. I went to his house. I knew something was up. He kind of acted a little distant, but I knew something was up. I'm like, he's acting a little strange today. So not knowing that he already had talked to my mom, not knowing that she already gave the blessing for him to propose, the go ahead, the green light. And my daughter adored him. Like, she loved him so much. And he took out so much time with my daughter, which is not his biological daughter. And they had just this special bond that she automatically just started calling him daddy. Even though she had a daddy, she knew who her daddy was, but she also had a second daddy. So he loved on her, she loved on him. So when he proposed, she was there with us. And when he proposed, it kind of caught me off guard. So I never answered, even though he put the ring on my hand. And when he walked out the room, my daughter said, Mommy, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy? He's a good man. You need to say yes. And I said, I don't know. And I was more afraid, the fear, because of all of the bad that I had from dudes. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I can't believe this man just proposed, and it's been a short period of time. Something I always wanted was to be married. But at the same time, having a slight fear of marriage because of what I saw family members go through in their marriage, siblings go through in their marriage. So I'm like, oh, I'm kind of afraid of marriage or whatever. I was like, I don't know how this gonna work out, because I can't go through. I can't do what them other people do. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna have, no disrespect, nothing. I said, I don't know if I'm this type of female to be married, because I'm gonna cut him off real quick if he do something I don't like. I'm not gonna take no drama, no cheating, none of that. Like, I just said that to myself, because watching my sisters go through. Like I said, I got 4 sisters and 1 brother, all of them older than me. I'm the youngest. So, just watching them go through in their marriages and their situations, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot go through what they went through. I'm gonna kill somebody if I do, and that was my mindset at the time. So I never answered him the first day, but my daughter's like, Mama, it's crazy. What's going on? Why you didn't tell Desmond yes, like he's a good man, Mama? Now this my little child telling me he's a good man. Like, how do you know he's a good man? Mama, I just know he's a good man. He's good for you. He treat us good, Mama. And so I went home to my apartment just to, evaluate some things, just to think of some things, even though I didn't come out my mouth and tell him yes, but my heart said yes, even though nothing came out of my mouth. So, I just pondered on some things, thought about some things, and I said, you know what? At the end of the day, I just had to just evaluate the whole picture. I'm like, you know what? This man has been all that and then some to me and my daughter, through everything that we've been through, what he's been through. We were there for each other. And I said, there's no way I cannot marry this man. Like, he is meant for me and I'm meant for him. Like, it was so easy, you guys. Like, the dating was easy. Everything was so easy. It was effortless. Like, I'm like, if I didn't want to fix up myself, he was fine. Like, oh, you're beautiful. Don't worry about, you ain't got to get all, fancy for me and, this and that. So he accepted me just as I was, and it was a difference from all the other guys that I dated, my whole dating history. This particular situation was totally different. It felt real. It felt easy. No disrespect. It was just a effortless relationship that turned from friendship to love, like overnight. Like, it happened so quickly that it blew my mind. And then, what I was having a hard time as well, making my mind up, because I'm like, okay, how is my daughter's father going to feel? How is, the guys that I dated in the past, how are they going to feel if I just up and get married? Like, just get my mind together. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to say, if they find out I'm getting married. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I just had a lot to, just like to figure out within my own, mind and my own self, because I was like, I don't want to hurt nobody. But I need to move on for me and my daughter. Like, I need someone that's going to actually really be here for me and my daughter. So, I just had finally got it together, and I was like, okay. So I went back and told him, I said, yes, I'll marry you. So it was so easy, you guys. Once I told him yes, we began to start planning our wedding, and literally months later, we got married. It was the most beautiful wedding ever. It was just so easy. And oh my goodness, it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm marrying my friend. And then when we got married, everybody's like, oh my God, y'all look like brother and sisters. I'm like, oh my God, why? Everybody telling us we look just alike. But it was so easy that I didn't have to pretend to be someone else. I didn't have to act different. I could just be myself. Let my hair down. You know how you always hear people say, let your hair down, be yourself. I could always be myself around my husband. But this is the funny part. When I got to know his parents, his dad is so reserved, so quiet. He don't talk to strangers. Like, he'll go in a place, get what he got to get, and out. Like, he do not talk to people like that. So I knew this particular day it was God sent. Like, I knew God used him and worked through him for us to come together and cross paths. Even though we went to high school, now we sit back and we have conversations and we laugh about it. And I was like, I never looked at you in school no other way. Didn't even really know you. I said, and now to look and we are married, it is ridiculous funny. I was like, your dad is so reserved, so humble. He do not talk to strangers. I said, for him to operate like that, I said, it was God working through him to get us together. And so now me and my husband, we sit back and we just talk about it and laugh. I'm like, oh my goodness. I said, I cannot picture you would have ever been my husband, you know, or whatever. And I just think my husband is the sweetest guy ever. He's caring. He gives me anything I want. He spoils me. I mean, he goes above and beyond. And at the same time, I get on his nerves. He get on my nerves sometimes. But that's all out of love. You know, that's all a marriage. And so we've been married since 2008 up until now. We've grown together. We had to endure a lot of things together. And at the end of the day, he's always been here for me. So just to give somebody a word, a message, you know, sometimes friends can end up being your spouse. You just got to seek God, see what the Lord's saying. You just never know how it's going to unfold. If someone had told me a year before this would have happened, or 2 years, I would have told them, y'all lying, ain't going to happen. Yeah, he in my class. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, I know of him, but I didn't know him. And, it's funny because he is more reserved than I am. Like, he wouldn't talk. He just, I don't know, his lifestyle at that time when we went to school together was totally different from mine. The people he hung around, I probably would have never hung around. My people, he wouldn't have hung around because he wouldn't fit in. You know, it's funny because we come from two different backgrounds, like, and then we come together and it's so easy and it's fit just so smoothly jointed together. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you just really blew my mind on this. Like, I would never thought in a million years that this man would have made me his wife. Like, never, ever, ever. Like I said, we were friends like 4 to 5 years before we even considered dating. Like, and I used to always get at him, like, when he'll call me, I'm like, oh, it's been months since I talked to you. So what relationship you just getting out of? Because he always believed in, when he dated someone, not having a female friend. So when he dated other people, like, we would still be friends, but we wouldn't talk on the regular. He wouldn't call me on the regular. Like, he respected his relationships that he was in. So I respect that, you know, for him. But like I told him, I said, you played me as a friend. I said, you know, where you went, dude, you know, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, just, you never know what God has in store for you. So don't count yourself out and don't count your friends out. You never know that you may be friends with your spouse. So God moves and works in a way that is, you just never know. He blows our mind every time. So I just wanted to encourage someone, give somebody a short story time on how I met my husband. And like I said, we've been rocking since 2008. Cannot believe it. We're in 2020 now. We both are 40 years old. You know, we talk about high school and all those things, and we laugh together, you know, and stuff like that. Get on each other's nerves. That's what spouses do. We get on each other's nerves. But I love him. I would not trade him for anything or anybody in the world, because he is so meant for me, and I am just meant for him. Like I was made for him, and so it just all fit and worked together so smoothly. And we both into cars. Like, he into more speedy cars. I love cars, but he's more into speedy cars. I drive, but not like him. That's another story. That's another topic. But y'all be blessed. Just know that God works in mysterious ways. Don't never count God out. He got something in store for you. Just accept and allow what God has for you. I'm out. Peace out.